And we welcome you to noise11.com. Harts, good to have you here to talk about a brand new record that you've got, an independent record this time.
Yes.
Yes. Let's jump right in and talk about this brand new record, because it's not your first record. You have had an EP out before.
Yes.
Via Universal, and this time it's all independent.
Yeah, correct. It was just kind of a natural kind of progression for me to return to being independent, because it was just easier for me to be in control of my own music, and I was better able to get my artistic vision out, I guess, independently.
It's kind of weird being the independent artist at the moment after having been signed to the biggest record label in the world, and now you're being chased by another big record label out of the USA.
Yeah, well, since all the kind of buzz has been happening, I've been chased by actually a few big labels, but one of them, Atlantic Records in New York, were really interested in doing something with me. So yeah,
it's interesting that they got to hear about you, and in particular, you have been talked about in very high circles, with Prince discovering who you were. How did he find out who you were?
Well, basically, he had heard my music and seen some of my live videos on YouTube. Mm-hmm. That was kind of the way it was described. Well, the way he told me, really. He found just videos on YouTube, and he showed everyone at Paisley Park, and he kind of brought everyone into the studio to watch some videos of mine. They're all really loving it, and he just one day just got in touch with me, and next thing I know, I was over there.
Wow.
So yeah.
How does Prince get in touch with somebody? Is it a phone call? Is it like an email? Is there a giant symbol over your house when you go out of the door in the morning?
That symbol, with the Prince symbol. No, basically his manager had emailed me saying, introducing them and stuff like that, and saying, Prince would like to talk to you. I thought it was I thought it was fake. I thought it was a scam. You know what I mean? Because those type of emails, it just doesn't happen. But as I looked into it turned out to be legit. I replied, gave back my number, and about probably, I think a week later, I had a phone call, answered it, and Prince.
Wow, so he called himself?
Yeah, he called, yeah.
Yeah? And how soon after that were you on a plane and heading over to Paisley Park?
A few weeks at max, I think. I don't actually know. But he'd kind of just said that he had some opportunities, and he had some stuff he wanted to show me rather than tell me over the phone. So he just invited me out, and I think probably about 2-3 weeks after that, I was standing next to him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me about driving into the driveway. What's the house look like?
It's massive. It's this big, massive white building, and kind of estate with these kind of beautiful lawns and stuff like that. But from the outside, it just looks like a big white building. But from the magic is in the inside. You know what I mean? As soon as you step in there, you're like, okay, this is Prince world kind of thing. The first thing I saw was the bike from Purple Rain, which is just sitting in the foyer. He's got 3 massive studios downstairs. He's got his open kind of live venue. He's got his club and stuff like that in there, and it's just another world, but a musical world. Like everything in there is just music. So yeah. He
records everything that he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, he has a lot of unreleased stuff. Yeah.
So when you're in there and you're jamming with Prince in Prince's house, does he have the recording going of that? So do these recordings now exist?
I think they do. I think they would, but I don't know for sure. So yeah.
What did you play with him?
I played mostly jamming stuff, a bit of funk fusion type music, and we went through kind of a medley of his older stuff, and we also played. I used to play with his band. We went through kind of a quick few versions of my songs and stuff like that as well. It's just kind of just playing music, I guess. Yeah, there was no structure, there was no rehearsing or anything. It was just playing.
Yeah. What were the older songs that you did?
I probably can't say because he wouldn't like me mentioning.
No?
No.
But he did some of yours.
He did, yeah. We did some of mine. We did Red and Blue, Lovers in Bloom, and we just jammed on some other material of mine. So yeah.
Yeah, Red and Blue would be a very interesting track to hear with you and Prince, because you're both huge Hendrix fans, aren't you?
Yeah.
And that song is very derivative of Jimi Hendrix.
It is,
in style.
Yeah, it is. It would be interesting. I didn't play that one with him. Most of the time when I was jamming with him, he would play either bass or keys or something like that. Well, we never played two guitars together. But yeah, it would be pretty good because obviously he's one of my idols. I look up to his playing, and you know, just watching him rehearse with his bands and stuff like that, and I was just watching the fretboard the whole time, and I'm just picking up things that I'd never thought of, and I was like, oh, this guy's good. Yeah.
Obviously, Jimi Hendrix died long before you were born. So how did you discover Jimi Hendrix?
I discovered him through another blues musician, Buddy Guy. I was watching TV one day, or one of the music channels was on. This performance of Buddy Guy came on, and it was him playing. I'm not sure what concert it was, but it was like an outdoor festival, and he was doing a cover of an old song called Money. And just the flamboyance of that he was showing in playing guitar, and he's doing all these fast blues licks, and he walked off stage and he's playing in the audience and stuff. And I was like, I want to do that, you know, like I want to play guitar like that. And then from getting into his music, I discovered Jimi Hendrix, who was influenced by Buddy Guy. And then once I saw Hendrix, I was like, that's what I want to do. You know, I want to play guitar like him. And I, you know, learned a lot from kind of imitating Hendrix in a way. So yeah. Did
Hendrix lead you to Prince, or was it the other way around?
Now Prince was kind of not really related. Like while I was learning all that blues, I wasn't really aware of Prince. I was more aware of like kind of garage rock and stuff that stemmed from the blues, like Jack White and stuff like that. But Prince was through my actual older brother. My brother used to listen to other stuff like R&B, hip hop, and all this stuff. But he also had a lot of Prince catalog in his collection, and he was like playing Purple Rain, When Doves Cry, you know, all the hits. And after a while of him just playing that around the house, I'm like, this artist is pretty good. So I checked out, you know, I managed to get like an Ultimate Hits CD, and I checked out all that first, and then I delved more into his actual work, his albums, stuff like that. And then the more I got in, the more I realized that this guy is doing pretty much exactly what I want to do with music. You know, like he's blending the funk, the soul with the rock, and with that kind of, that attitude, that rock edge, bringing that into his funk and soul and stuff. And he's blending everything that I like about music together. And that's kind of what really brought me onto Prince's music, and why I'm really inspired by his output.
So I guess a lot of people think of Prince as funk and soul, but he's really an amazing rock guitarist.
He is, yeah. He can. That's what I mean. Like he can do it all. Like I saw him playing some jazz stuff, like not straight jazz, but like fusion type funk jazz, and just like stuff that I didn't really. I knew he could do it, but I just didn't know he could do it that well. You know, he's a well-rounded musician, and that's one thing that he tried to inspire in me, to become that, not just a one-trick pony in a certain genre, but you know, like a well-rounded musician in a lot of things, because that's ultimately what leads to longevity, I think, in music. So yeah.
Prince's quote about you was, he reminds me of how I was at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did he say that?
He said it in an interview. He had thrown like a little bit of a listening party at Paisley Park for his new material, and I was there at the time, and I actually performed at that night with his session musicians. I was kind of sitting in with the band playing guitar, and I think he just said that to the reporter. That I didn't realize there was a reporter even there, because I thought it was just Prince's close friends and stuff, but there was, and he had said that about me while I was playing. So yeah.
And little known trivia fact, Prince recorded Sexy Motherfucker in Chapel Street.
Did he?
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
You did not know that?
No.
The old Platinum Studios, right across the road from the Como Centre. Yeah. You've got to
I'm still learning.
A department store. There you go.
I'm still learning about all those kind of stuff, because like a lot of Prince fans are finding me now and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, did you know this? Did you know this?" And I'm like, I actually didn't know all of that. Like, you guys are bigger Prince fans than me, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Onto your record, Leaving It All Behind is the first of the indie songs, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, the one you've launched the independent part of the career with.
Yeah, pretty much.
So when was that song written?
That was done like maybe October last year, 2013. It was done pretty quick, and it was released pretty soon after it was done. Like I wasn't planning on... That one actually wasn't planning to be on the album. Like that was just a single that I just wanted to put out, like a 12-inch, like 6-minute funk jam. But the response from it, and people loved it, and it was still my most successful song to date. That really kind of inspired me to all right, I got to make an album now, you know, kind of thing. Like it's time, and I got to do it. So that was actually pre-recording the album. So yeah.
What about Lovers in Bloom?
Lovers in Bloom was a big one for me online because it had caught the attention of Questlove of The Roots, who sent a tweet out of the video, and since then it was like a massive influx of people because he's got like 3 million followers or something like that. Massive influx of people, and you know, like he got my YouTube video up to like 20,000 views, like in a week or so. So that was like just a big help, and then that obviously increased the awareness of what my music and what I was doing. So that was another big one.
And Angels Walk Below.
Yeah,
that's the single.
Yeah, it was a single. It is a single. It's kind of still recent, so it's still kind of building that momentum. Same with Red and Blue, but I think they'll be big. I think a lot of people say they like them, so you know I can only go from the feedback from the fans. So yeah.
You've had the Off Time EP, the Off Time song, and now it's the Off Time label.
Yeah, that's my record label name. I just like the name. Like it means something to me. It's not necessarily off time as in out of time. It's more, it doesn't conform to time as in time in the thing of genres, as in musical genres, musical time. Off time seems to be, like to me it just seems like it's a way of saying, you know, it's not conforming to trends of time that are bound by time. I just like the phrase, and I just thought that'd be a good name for my label. So yeah.
Do you plan on putting other artists on that label?
Yeah, I do. I've got a bunch of friends and stuff like that are making really cool music that probably will be somewhat released through my label soon. So yeah.
And we look forward to that next exciting phase.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, Harts, joining us here at noise11.com. Thank you for popping in and telling the story.
Thank you. Appreciate the support.